Welcome to Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura. And a couple of weeks ago, I shared a pattern for these lovely fabric eggs. And in that video, I displayed the eggs on a table runner. And a lot of you have asked for the pattern. So today I'm going to share that pattern with you. It's going to be a different fabric, but the technique is the same. It's a very simple pattern. It takes 4 fabrics. All of the fabrics start with widths of fabric cut at 2.5 inches. Chances are you probably have enough fabric to make this already. And it won't matter if they're darks, lights, or mediums. It's going to go together beautifully. The table runner will not need a lot of fabric, and all of the fabric we need needs to be cut at 2.5 inches. So you might already have 2.5-inch squares cut up that you can use. Fabric A, you need 12 2.5-inch squares. So you'll get that out of a strip of fabric at 30 inches. Fabric B, we're going to need a little bit more than 62 inches. Fabric C, we're going to need a little bit more than 72 inches. And fabric D, we're going to need 25 inches. So let's cut the fabric. A, 12 2.5-inch squares. Fabric B, we will need 6 pieces cut at 6.5 inches and 10 rectangles at 2.5 inches by 4.5 inches. Fabric C, we need 6 rectangles cut at that 2.5 inches by 4.5 inches and 18 2.5-inch squares. And D, we need 10 2.5-inch squares. The table runner only will need these 62 pieces. The color arrangements are not that important. You can have a light where the dark is, a dark or a light. We just need 62 pieces. From these pieces, we're going to make 3 different blocks, and those blocks will make the table runner. So we can lay out the blocks first and then sew them together. We need to make 2 blocks that are 9 patches. We have D running down the center. The 4 sides are C, and the 2 leftover corners are A. We can sew the units together in 3s, and then sew the 3s together to make 2 9 patches. With these 2 9 patches done, we're going to make 2 that will look like this. We will need that A 2.5-inch square, our B's, which are 4.5 inches, and then D and C. The easiest way to put this block together is make that little 4 patch first. Sew on one of the bottoms, sew the square and the rectangle together, and those will go right on the end, and all of the seams will match up. Your A square is going to be on your right-hand side, coming up to the left. With these 2 blocks done, we only have 1 more block to make, and we need to make 6 of these blocks. We're going to start with the A 2.5-inch, C 2.5-inch, the C 4.5-inch, B 4.5-inch, and B 6.5-inch. And we're going to put this together very similar to a log cabin. So the first 2 blocks together, sew the second on, then we're going to be able to continue sewing those blocks on. So the A block is on your left-hand side, and it's going to go up towards the right. And we will have enough pieces to make 6 of these blocks. With the last 6 blocks done, we've used up all the pieces, and we're done all of the blocks for the table runner. Now we can put it together. We will need 2 corner pieces, so take 2 of that last block we did and match it up. And you'll be able to see where your colors are going to match up, and sew those 2 units together. With those 2 corners done, we have 2 9-patch blocks left and 4 half-log cabin blocks. Divide those in half and put them on each side. That larger 6.5-inch piece needs to be on the outside. The D fabric is going to be on your right, coming down to the left. If we twist it, we're going to have 2 colors matching, and we do not want those colors to be together. So we have these L's on opposite corners. And just sew those together using a 1/4-inch seam allowance. We have the 2 corner blocks, the 2 center blocks. We're going to be able to sew these together. Take that fabric, slide it over to the right. So we end up with this L shape. And that D fabric is going to go in a straight line. So we can sew these two sections together. When we do sew these two pieces together, we're going to have one edge match up, but the other edge is not going to match up to the end. It needs to stop a 1/4 inch past this corner. So from this seam, we need to have that 1/4 inch in. We now have two pieces. We're going to take the one piece and just flip it and drag it over so that D is going all in one line. So we do not have full seams to sew, only this small portion. We need to leave that 1/4 inch on both of those edges. We're going to be able to see that that one fabric matches up and that secondary fabric matches up. With that last seam stitched together, we now have a finished table runner. D is going to run right down the center. All of the outside has this lovely zigzag look, and we have a little sparkle with fabric A. This definitely looks a lot more complicated than it is. If we follow step by step, making all of those blocks individual and putting them together in an order, when we get to those last two blocks, we can really see where it all fits together. And the value of the colors can be changed. If you had the dark fabric along the outside, it would be fine. If you had your light down the center, it would be fine too. It is the same table runner, but boy, when you change the fabrics, it really does give it a totally different look. So it won't matter where the dark colors are or the light colors, it's always going to turn out. And thank you for requesting the pattern. I'll put a link in the description to the egg video so you can check out the original table runner and you now have the pattern. Thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.